This is a video review of Connected Mathematics, 2nd edition, Bits and Pieces, using fraction operations. It's done by Pearson Prentice Hall. Here's the authors, and you'll see a little seal of approval from the National Science Foundation, which has also funded a bunch of other defective math textbooks. The main developer here, actually got to get some email answers from, is Elizabeth Phillips, Senior Academic Specialist, and this is how you can contact her at cmp@math.msu.edu. And this is quite a controversial series. The most common summary I've seen is that this is absolutely the worst textbook ever written for middle school. Now, why would that be? Here we go. Here's another thing. Bits and Pieces 2. Classroom tested proven effective. Before work, mathematics teachers in more than 18 school districts, that's over 80 teachers, reviewed Connected Mathematics. More than 100 classroom teachers tried out Mathematics 2 at 49 schools all across the country. This classroom testing allowed the authors to carefully study and revise the program to make sure the materials help math students like you every day in every classroom. Now, the thing, remember, you have to have list all these people to show that it's not junk. What it means is that it is junk. Here's a list of all individual reviewers of CMP blogging in Arkansas, Michigan, including here is Yuri Treisman of the Dana Center, who is revising the Washington standards. They have a standard where the kindergartners are doing multiplication, second graders have to do long division with a remainder, and also before they corrected it, they had a second grade solve a linear algebra problem for x. And here's your authors, and that's Elizabeth Phillips right there, and the other people. And every one of these booklets, this is split up into a bunch of booklets, and every booklet has these sections in it. So here we go. How do we compare fractions? They use fraction strips. Okay, you know, it's kind of cute for learning, but if you try to do this stuff at Boeing or Microsoft, you wouldn't last very long. Here, folding fraction strips. Using strips, folding strips. Now, you can fold them in half. That's pretty easy, in thirds. Now, how would you fold a fraction strip into tenths? How would you do it into twelfths? This is just not a good idea. Okay, moving right along. We get more advanced here. Okay, now we get to compare fractions to benchmarks. What is a benchmark? Oh, you just compare a fraction to see if it's closer to 0, 1/2, or 1. Oh, that's very sophisticated. Alright, so when do we get to a real method here? It's over here. Comparing fractions to benchmarks. Okay, 7 9 3 4 3 12 5 6. I don't know, is 5 6, is that closer to 1/2 or 1? It's not that easy here. Halfway. Let's see. Now, the interesting thing we don't see here is that that's it. The common method is to use a common denominator. It's not here. Okay, the only message here is that by the time you get to college, the only way to compare fractions is fraction strips and 1/2, which is just silly. Here we go. Now, there's a little more sophistication here. Here we go. We're going to find the greatest common factor of each pair of numbers, 12 and 48, 24 and 72. Use your answers to write a fraction equivalent to each fraction given, which actually will give you lowest terms, but it's not called reducing to lowest terms. Here's another interesting problem here. Copy each number line, estimate and mark where the number 1 would be. What? How would you figure out that here's 2/5? Where would 1 go? I don't know. It could be here, here, or here. It's just done very poorly. Now here's your glossary. English-Spanish glossary based on number system. Oh yeah, cool. Here we go. It's also in Spanish. That's very good. That makes it for the fact that everybody complains that CMP is so English intensive that unless you're way above grade level in English, you won't be able to understand this thing. So here we go. It has a number for benchmark. Now most math textbooks don't even cover benchmark. There is no such concept in traditional math. Now if you want to look for common denominator, it's not there. Here we go. Here's our index. There's benchmarks. You want to look for least common denominator? No, it's not here. There's a hundreds grid. That's not standard. Interpreting data. That's there. There's fraction strip model. What do we get here? Here's justify or explain solution. Least common denominator would go there, but it's not there. There's problem-solving strategies. That's something you will not find in a standard textbook. There's a pictorial model. Reasonableness. Check for reasonableness. This is just not good. Okay, now we're in bits and pieces 2. Now, there's an entire booklet. All you get to do is to compare fractions, and you can't even do the standard method. Okay, now we get to do designing algorithms for addition and subtraction. Let's say, in this problem, you develop algorithms for adding and subtracting. Notice that no method for adding or subtracting is going to be given in this book. You have to develop